Hello and welcome to Metal Vice, a podcast where we talk about all things music.
Well, the things we care about.
That's right, which is mainly metal music and live music. I'm your host, Brian, joining the other host,
Karen.
And tonight we are going to be talking about Linkin Park.
Yes.
They're from Zero World Tour that we went to last night, actually.
Last night, yep.
Here in Chicago. That was Monday, August 11th, as we said, in Chicago at the United Center. Just getting the numbers out of the way real quick. Ticket prices for this were $169.50 with fees of $31.23 and a tax of $2.28. Not bad for fees.
Not bad for fees. Tickets
Were
kinda
pricey.
steep. Yep.
We were in the 100 section. We did want to be on the floor, but I can't remember if they were just too much money, like we didn't want to pay that much for the floor, or if the floor was sold out. I feel like it was the former. I feel like the price was just sort of like
a little higher than we wanted to pay.
We don't want to pay that.
I remember when we bought these tickets, we had bought a lot of tickets around this time also, so it was like, do we want to, like, even this was kind of steep, but I was like, I don't want to be where I was for Disturbed up in the 300s.
But we bought this also before Disturbed, so I don't think
was it?
I think it was.
Oh, okay.
I think so. I can't remember exactly
Well, then was
when
9
we
Inch
bought these.
Nails?
9 Inch Nails are in the 300. We're going to go see that.
We are in the 300s?
We are in the 300s for that, so it's going to be kind of shitty. But I think we're on the side and we're not straight back.
Okay.
For 9 Inch Nails. So it might be a little different.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Which is weird because we saw AC/DC in the 400 section.
And it was perfect.
It was a great spot.
Such a good spot.
So
but that was at Soldier Field.
Right.
In like section 405, and it's perfect. 400s, just do that.
And unlike 9 Inch Nails, that I think they have two shows for that, and they sold one of them out, and that's why they added the second one. I think that's what happened there. This was not sold out.
This was not, no.
It did feel pretty full as the night went on. As I looked around, like there were a lot of fucking people there.
There was a lot of people there, but there was still a lot of emptier seats.
I guess I didn't see as many as I expected, but going into this, I kind of felt like
the whole tour was
having problems selling tickets. And I mean, it wasn't sold out, but it also wasn't empty, if you know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
There were plenty of, like, I don't know. It didn't look that empty to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was fuller than Disturbed was. I do have to say that. Okay. Disturbed had a lot of complete rows that were empty, which I'm sure were maybe scalpers buying tickets.
Disturbed's also a little different in the fact that they were in Milwaukee like a couple days before.
Yeah.
I don't think Linkin Park's anywhere around here other than Minneapolis.
Oh, okay.
I want to say maybe St. Louis. I don't know where they are for this tour, honestly.
Yeah, I didn't really look at the tour either.
I think they're in Minneapolis or Detroit.
Okay.
Anywho.
Okay. Anyways, but for this show, so it was a center stage.
Yeah, I can't remember when we bought tickets if that's
how it was advertised.
Yeah, I honestly cannot remember.
Yeah,
I kind of feel like it was, but I can't say one way or the other.
So from our viewpoint, because we were on the end, or like on the, how do you say that? Like where the basketball hoops would be, like on the ends.
Yeah, we were on like one end zone or by one.
Yeah.
For football reference, for hockey, it'd be where the goals are. We'd be behind the goal.
Yeah.
Or behind the hoop, as you said. For a normal stage, we were here for Roger Waters, and we were basically in the same section. And we were basically center stage all the way back from if it was just a normal straight across stage.
If the stage was on the other side.
So that's sort of where we would have been if it was a straight across stage.
Yeah. But for the floor, it seemed like the end that we saw wasn't too packed, but on the sides of the stage seemed so packed. Did you notice that?
Yeah. So like, I know exactly what you're talking about.
For how the stage was set up, it would be the front of the stage was really packed. Because they kind of stood on the sides.
Yeah, if you're thinking of like an oval, we were on one end of the oval. The other end probably wasn't, but then the sides of the oval were packed.
Yeah, because that's where they stood.
Right,
yeah.
and that's where the drum kit was, and they'd play out there to that audience. They did move around quite a bit.
They did, yeah.
And they played to the entire arena, which we'll talk about that when we get to their set. When like Metallica does this, and I think Metallica does it really well. But even on the M72 tour, there are some bands, especially with this new massive fucking M72 stage, there's some bands who know how to work that stage well, like Five Finger, and there's bands like Mammoth that don't really work it all that well.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, this isn't M72 related, but I feel like Metallica did much better when it's a straight center stage without the snake pit than this gigantic
for the M72
racetrack.
one.
Yeah. But anyways, I think we talked about that.
We have. They've had other center stages, and I like the other setups better than this. I understand what they're doing with this one, but again, we've done episodes on M72. We've talked about that there. If you want to hear our thoughts there, go check those out, or we kind of just shared them now.
There was no Snake Pit for Linkin Park, though.
But now we're talking about Linkin Park. Yes.
Sorry. We went off on a tangent.
Always do that. We didn't say anything about the openers.
Oh, yeah.
Which there's only one. I'm just going to say this right now. I fucking hate this name. I hate this so much. Every time I look at it, it pisses me off. And as of last night and as of yesterday at the show, I had no clue what their name was. I thought it was Privers, Pervers, something like that.
I thought Purus, like, as a heavy band with, like, you know, a
V
U instead of a U.
Yeah. Maybe.
I thought about that, but they were not heavy.
They're not heavy. The name, the spelling is PVRIS.
Yep.
And I think they're Paris.
Paris, yeah. So the V is like an upside down A.
I get that now.
Yeah.
I do get that and I understand it. Then make it a fucking A and turn it upside down. And, you know, you can do that with fucking fonts. Yeah. So
instead of using a V.
Now that I know that it's Paris, I'm even more pissed off. Because it's like every time I look at this, my dyslexia, it hurts my fucking brain when I see this. And it just pisses me off when I see it. And I don't give a fuck what your logo looks like. Spell it properly, or do like the U to the V thing, like black metal band do. I would have been fine with that, but like this, no, there's no A there. How the fuck is it
Landmarks
Paris?
does it. They use a V instead of an A.
Do they?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Landmarks.
I don't know them.
They're like a core band.
I hate it. Whenever I see this, it just drives me crazy. My dyslexia kicks in.
Yeah, and I didn't know who this was, like what their name was either, because like even their logo, it kind of looks like it could be a Y, it could be a V, like it's hard.
So that's just my little 2 cents on the name. I fucking hate it. It pisses me off whenever I look at it. When they started playing, it was fine.
Yeah.
Let's go over their set list.
Their set list and then we'll talk about.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So they played Good Enemy, Animal, Dead Weight, Snakes, Take My Nirvana, Monster, Burn the Witch, Oil and Water, My House, and they ended with Goodness.
A pretty decent set list for an opener. They were the only opener, so you get a little bit longer.
And they played for 40 minutes, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like pretty decent for an opener for sure.
Well, when you have one opener,
they
normally, I shouldn't say normally, because we got Almond Amarth for 30 minutes for one opener, so that kind of sucked.
And that really pissed me off because I love Almond Amarth.
Yeah,
and Ghost is great. Don't get me wrong, but
we thought it was a co-headlining, and it was 30 minutes. So the vibe of them.
So
would you say rock?
It's definitely rock, like an indie rock alt rock or something like that. I would say
I got like from her personally, because it's a female vocalist with a bassist / keyboardist.
Yep.
And a drum.
Yep.
Or drum
a 3-piece group.
Yep. But from her, I kind of got like indie country rock.
I got hipster vibes.
Really,
from
hipster?
Her. Just the outfit she had on, like the cowboy boots.
Yeah, I didn't understand her outfit.
So it was like, whatever, you can wear whatever you want, makes you happy, whatever. I don't give a shit about that. But like, it definitely felt very hipster-ish.
She did have an oversized t-shirt,
fishnet top
underneath it, and then like basketball shorts that were way too big for her, and then cowboy boots.
Right. And the music was, as I said, like indie rock, something like that. I don't know.
Maybe the indie would be where I'm getting like the country vocal vibe. Like it wasn't like country, like down south country. It was more like a female vocalist country.
Okay, so. I didn't get any country at all.
Okay.
Outside the cowboy boots.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. The music was fine, and as I was listening to their set, it wasn't something I was like, oh my god, this is fucking amazing. I love this. It was more of like, it's music, and I'm here, and I'm happy.
Yeah.
If this was at Riot Fest,
check them out for a second.
I would definitely hang out at their set, check out their set, and watch it. If there was nothing else, like if there wasn't a metal band or something going on that I cared more about, and I happened to cross their set, I would have watched it and I would have enjoyed it. Going to a show of their own, it's not my thing. It's not my taste.
It won't be on my rotation either.
Yeah.
Like I thought about that. I was like, I don't think I would seek this out for an opener where I guess this is my idea of their position at this show. Most people were probably going for Linkin Park, not for them. So for their position, it's kind of like the Dua Blard that we saw with Rammstein, where it's more music happening while people are taking their seats, not a normal like 3 slot opener where people could be there to see them. I'm not saying people weren't there to see them. I'm just saying, that's how I took their music, or at least that's how I didn't get angry about the music, and I just like kind of listened to it, where I'm just like, okay, this is just passing the time until the performer goes on.
Yeah, I get that. I do. We've also brought this up with other bands, especially Avatar. I think Avatar does this really well with their tours of bringing a wide variety of music talent or music from different genres and sort of melding that all together in their show. And to me, when I see that, to me, that's more of the artist being like, and I don't know if this is true or not, this is just my interpretation of going to the show and seeing it, but it's me, to me, it's the artist saying, these are the bands we like, and these are the bands we're listening to right now, and we want to share it with the world and help them out, like helping the community type thing.
Yeah.
So I can see people in Linkin Park listening to this and listening to their stuff and liking it and being friends with them and hanging out with them and like, hey, let's go on a tour together. We'll take you for a couple of the shows. So I can see that happening for sure. So I do appreciate where bands do sort of branch out and force you in a way to listen to a different type of music.
That's true.
And not to say that this isn't too far out of base from Linkin Park.
Oh no, I was gonna say the same thing. Like Linkin Park's not heavy by any means. They have some heavier songs, but it's definitely not, like what we normally go towards for a concert. So yeah, I would agree. Like maybe that's it. Like, just kind of keeping it rock genre sort of thing. And it could be female focused, where it's like,
could be that too.
Let's highlight another female artist who's the lead vocalist to see it.
Which, if that's the case, that's kind of like, I don't know. I'm over that. Like, you need to have a female.
Oh no, I
push this female lead type stuff.
I fucking hate that too. So
we've seen plenty of shows with female bands or female members in their bands, and I think that's great. I do think that's a good thing to present that and show that, because I think especially within metal, it's starting to get more and more diverse. It used to be sort of like the white male thing, and you're seeing a lot more non-white male talent in metal bands, and it's fucking awesome. I love it so much. I keep thinking that Kitty show, or that Kitty tour,
where it was all female focused.
And that was sort of the intent. And again, I enjoy that to some extent, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, like you don't necessarily have to do that. I appreciate what you're doing, but at the same time, it doesn't have to be like, we need a female slot. And we were doing like and we were watching like the Woodstock documentaries, and there was one comment on there was like, you have one female artist or something. I can't remember if it was that or not, but
it was something like that there was only one female for the day or something.
Right. Where once you start going down,
there was one female every day. Yeah. So 3 total.
So once you start going down that road, it becomes like a checklist, and like, don't just do it based on that. Do it based on the music and whatnot. That's more of where I come from.
I totally agree with you on everything you just said. I'm not if you listen to the podcast, I'm not very fond of female vocalists to begin with, just because it's not the sound I like. But
unless it's Ginger.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, unless they have a vocal range and not just I am a really sweet girl that likes to sing. So, and that's kind of how she came off a little bit last night. Was like, I'm just this like little girl that likes to sing sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I just threw that out there that it could have been another reason to have them on the bill.
I get that. I don't know if it was necessarily the reason, but that could be a reason for sure. I hope that's not the reason for having them on the bill. I hope they write great fucking music. Let's have them out there.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily like the music, but whatever.
But that's just us.
Exactly.
I think there was a lot of people there that seemed to enjoy their music.
Fuck yeah, they did. That was awesome.
Yeah. Just, it wasn't our normal go-to, so.
In terms of how they worked the stage, talking about a center stage and how some people don't necessarily work at the best. I thought they did an okay job.
She did an okay job.
The drummer obviously is not doing shit.
The drummer fucked up and didn't move at all. No, I'm joking.
No, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
No, I was just joking. But the keyboardist / bassist could have turned around every once in a while.
He was going pretty hard though. I did see him headbanging really hard and getting really into the music, which was awesome to see.
Yeah.
But he was very stationary in that little corner he was in. And maybe that was because the songs required him to be switch between the two and whatnot. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was one sort of critique, I guess.
Yeah.
She did okay, playing to all over the stage and whatnot.
As long as she didn't have her guitar. If she had a guitar, she had to be at the microphone though, because she can't hold a microphone and
So she had her spot for that particular song.
Yeah,
but
those songs. Yeah, she had multiple songs.
Well, for that song, and then she'd take it off and next song, blah blah blah, all that stuff. Any hoodles.
And the backing tracks got to me.
I guess I didn't notice it too bad.
Like, there was still bass sounds when he was on the keyboard. So
it could have been a loop.
It could have been a loop. It could have been. Yeah.
But it's really hard to tell. And we've brought this up in the past where it's like once you start picking up on that, it could easily be a loop, and he's got a loop that he's put it on and whatnot.
Yeah.
But backing tracks are so prevalent now that once you start to pick up on it, it can it could really affect you. And I'm at that point where sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. It's really weird why it affects me sometimes and other times it doesn't.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Because sometimes it doesn't affect me at all either. But
right.
I felt like maybe it was just because you could hear the bass parts while he was clearly playing the keyboard. And then it's like, that's how I picked up on it. So, or the guitar parts when she was not playing the guitar or something. So.
But just wrapping this up real quick, their name pisses me off, as I said. I fucking hate looking at it right now, and I can't do it. I need to stop. They had a decent sound. It wasn't my sound, but it's a sound I would gladly listen to at a festival.
Yeah.
Wander around, find their set, hang out for a few tracks, maybe the whole set. I don't know. And it depends on who else is playing. And check them out and listen to them. I would definitely do that again. But in terms of like seeking them out, I'm definitely not going to be seeking them out. I did add it to the playlist.
I figured you would. Yeah.
So
the skip button's there, so we can skip.
If it comes up, I probably won't skip it, but
I would.
We've talked about this too. The live
though.
recording and
that's true.
The recorded aspect can be vastly different.
Yeah.
So I wonder what the live or the recorded sounds like. I haven't listened to anything.
That's
from
true. My perspective on it would be, again, not seeking them out, just like what you said. I can see many people in the crowd that night would enjoy the music more than what we did.
Right.
But it's just not our go-to type of music. So.
Yeah, 100%.
But no, if I see them on like a bill or something, I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, they're back in town, let's go see them. It's gonna be like, who are they with? So.
Yeah. There is Preves or Paris, depending on how you want to fucking spell your goddamn name. Getting to Linkin Park. But before we get super far into Linkin Park, I did want to bring up merch. We typically don't talk about merch.
Oh, okay.
But tonight I want to just a little bit because it's, I don't know, to me it's unique and different a little bit. So one thing, they're doing show-specific posters for every city, and we like to get posters when we go to a show. It's pretty expensive, like $100 for a poster. It was $300 online ahead of time. You could buy it ahead of time.
For $300?
And it was signed by all the bands. So that was the difference there. So you got like a signed version of it.
That's not worth it. Is Emily's name on it?
Those sold out, I think, almost instantly. Probably, or at least by the time I got on, they were gone. But we showed up at the show. They had them. We picked it up. We got the poster and a tour shirt. I also wanted to get the gummy bears because they had special limited edition Linkin Park gummy bears from the Hebrew Bear Company. Haribo, is that what it is?
Yeah, not Hebrew.
Shit. I always call it Hebrew for some
reason.
Really?
It's Haribo.
Haribo, okay. I like their gummy worms, or gummy bears. I really do. They're the harder ones. You do have to chew on them a little bit more than like the Black Forest, but I enjoy those ones.
I like the flavor of their gummy bears, like the actual gummy bears. These that we got, though.
So I was very excited to buy them. When we went up and got our merch, I was going to pick up like 2 or 3 bags of this anyway, or the gummy bears. But if you spent $70, you got a pack for free or something?
75, I think.
Was it 75?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, whatever. Yeah. We ended up getting 2 packs. I think we got them for free because we got a poster.
We don't know what we paid.
She didn't tell us what we paid. Yeah. So we got the tour shirt and the city-specific poster that was $100. And she gave us 2 of the packs. I don't know if she charged us. We'll have to check our credit card or whatnot. Anywho, I did eat some of those last night. I've enjoyed them. They're fine. They're not my favorite because they are those like those split ones where it's like the candy on top and then like the cream, like the white. Like you pointed out that they're like the cheeseburger looking gummies, which I've never had those. Those scare me. I don't want a cheeseburger tasting gummy. That just scares me for some reason. I know it's not, but I don't know. Yeah,
I didn't care for like. One, they're very, very sweet, which was surprising to me. But then also the flavors just were weird. Like, I think We tried an apple one that was good, but then there was like a soda one that was disgusting.
I haven't had that one yet, no.
Oh, it was so gross.
Unless I did and completely forgot. I don't know.
Yeah. The peach was okay, but...
Peach is fine. I don't like peaches, but yeah, that was fine.
I don't know. The flavor is just off a little bit.
Anyway, that was kind of cool. The poster was a little different as well, where we got the poster. She handed us the tube, and it's a fucking massive tube.
Yeah,
Typically, they're not like that.
It was like
thick.
Really big.
And we're like, oh, we can go ahead and put the lid on. She's like, no, I have to put the lid on for you because there's a little piece of paper in there. And I thought what she said was, if it's damaged, you can get a new one.
Yeah, that's what I thought she said too.
We got to our seat. We opened it up. We looked. The edges were all crinkled and whatnot. And the little piece of paper was just like a business card that said this was a limited print with like the embroidered stamp type
And I think
thing.
It's the artist name.
And it has the artist name, it has the city, and tells you it's limited to 200, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, so it's not... It's fine. And I don't care if it gets damaged. I'm not one of the people who like needs to have it pristine. I know there's a lot of people out there who are like that, and that's cool. That's your thing. That's what you want to do. I like it when it gets damaged, honestly, because it adds a little character.
Not damaged, but like if it has a nick or something.
Yeah, all right. Not that I like that, but I don't get upset with it because to me it's like it adds character. That's a better way to say it for sure. Anywho, got home last night and laid it out right away to like flatten it out like you have to do when posters are in tubes. And this one just laid out flat instantly. No crease, no nothing. And I felt the paper and it's just very cheap, very flimsy paper. So it was a little disappointed of the quality of that particular product for sure.
Yeah, for $100. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just wanted to bring that up now because we're talking about it here. We'll bring it up whenever we do get that framed. It's going to be a long ass fucking time before we get that framed. There's a lot of other cooler posters that I like. This was just more of like, I wanted to have it. So I just wanted to bring that up. I don't know if other cities are just like that. Again, ours was this sort of, and we'll put a photo up here of it. Ours was this sort of graffiti style-esque.
Yeah, like abstract graffiti style.
Yeah, it reminded me of a lot of like Denial, the artist that I really
artist,
like. His sort of collages that he does. It reminded me a lot of that. And I don't know if that was just sort of the aesthetic with the paper, like it all goes together, which if that's what it is, cool. But if other cities are like this same flimsy sort of paper, to me, it's like, God damn, that's cheap as shit. Like, why don't you just get standard thick paper stock?
Yeah, I wonder what the regular poster was like.
I think that was more the regular paper
stock. Because it seemed kind of flimsy too.
Maybe, like, I don't know,
where did we just get, like, did we get a shine down? No, we didn't get a shine down poster. We just got a poster that had that, like, kind of flimsy paper that was more like...
Ghost.
Ghost, yeah.
It was like the movie poster.
Where it was like the movie poster.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good point. They do have tour posters for like $35-$25 somewhere in there.
I can't remember. Yeah.
And
it was a lot cheaper.
It was. Yeah. And the city specific. And we were going to get one of them. They still had the city. We'd grab that. Otherwise, we get the show and whatnot.
First we said, no, we're not spending $100. But then we moved 2 spots up in line. And then you were like, yeah, I'm going to get that.
You might as well. Anywho, just want to quickly touch on that because I don't know when we'll ever talk about that poster again. But
someday, maybe.
A little disappointed in the quality, but still kind of a cool poster, I think.
Let's talk about Linkin Park.
Yeah.
I guess the merch was Linkin Park. But
yeah. So yeah, let's talk about their set list real quick. I did not know this until I got the set list FM and started adding the songs to our set list this morning. But it was broken down to like 5 acts.
Yeah, that didn't really like come across in the show.
4 acts and then encore. So if you go to Setlist FM, and even you found a ticket of like the actual set list. Somebody
posted the set list from last night's show like on a Linkin Park fan page. I'm not a fan of it, or like
somehow you found it.
Subscriber, but it comes up on everything on Facebook now is sponsored, so that's how it came up.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
But it was set up the same way where it's Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, so on and so forth. Like you said, that didn't come across when we were there. At least I didn't think it came across. I just thought it was like a normal set. There was one time maybe between Acts 2 and 3 when they did sort of do a set changeover.
Yeah.
Where they sort of rearranged the set, moving the drum kit around so they could start playing to the other side of the arena. Maybe that could be a thing, but I didn't get the whole vibe of the sets, the acts 1, 2, and 3.
I'm wondering if it is like, I mean, I don't get it either. Even looking through it, I was wondering if it was like how they're like booked together, but that doesn't even make sense to me.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
There must be something there. Whatever. Yeah. Anywho, into their set, They came out to Chelsea Dagger, which is the Black Hawks like big song that whenever they play there, that's like their big hype song at the beginning of their thing. Which I thought was funny. I think you mentioned
that. Like I would never even know.
I did that added to the playlist because it's awesome. Sometimes I do that. If they're like those opening songs that mean something, like, all right, I'll do that.
Okay.
I'm not going to go through like the intro songs and bullshit. I'm just going to go through the songs they have, which was, they started with Somewhere I Belong, Crawling, Cut the Bridge, Lying From You, The Emptiness Machine. Then we go to Act 2, which was The Catalyst, Burn It Down, Up From the Bottom, Where'd You Go, which was a Fort Minor song, Waiting for the End, Lies, Greed, Misery, Two-Faced. Johan had a solo in there. Then after the solo, they had When They Come For Me with Remember the Name, this sort of like combination of the two songs.
Yeah, it was like Mike Shinoda went down and like rapped in front of the crowd.
Yeah.
And like, so it was like kind of just like a little bit mix between the two.
Following that, we get Given Up and One Step Closer before going to Act 3, which had Lost, Good Things Go, What I've Done, and that ended Act 3 and Act 4 for 4 more songs, which was Overflow, Numb, In the End, Faint. And then we get an encore of Paper Cut, A Place for My Head, Heavy as the Crown, Bleed It Out was their final song. So 4-song encore, not bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was our very first time seeing Linkin Park.
It was our first time seeing it in Linkin Park. Even I was at home over the weekend and my aunt was like, how many times have you seen Linkin Park? And I'm like, absolutely 0. I was like, this is the first time, which I'm sad about, obviously. I know we've talked about it a lot, that Linkin Park. Well, I think we did a whole episode on like bands we would want to see or something, like a 666.
I can't remember if we actually did that or not.
Oh, did we not?
We've talked about doing that. If we haven't done it, we should do it.
Okay. Well, if we didn't do that already, then Linkin Park would have been on the list because I feel like we did talk about it.
We may have.
But anyways, because it was one of my favorite bands. Like I started listening to them in middle school before I even met you. So it was like kind of my first rock music that I would listen to. And then, yeah, like I listened to them. It was them and Disturbed were the two bands that like.
That got you into it.
Well, like I solely listened to Linkin Park and Disturbed.
For the longest time. I too listened to Linkin Park in middle school. I bought 2 of their albums. I remember when they had like the announcement of how many albums they sold. It was like a million albums and 6 copies of it, and like that's a weird 1,000,006, or maybe it was like 1,306,000. It was something weird like that. In any case, I remember that because like I bought 2 of those albums, so you're welcome for those 2 albums.
Why'd you buy 2?
Because I lost one and I really loved it, so I wanted it again, so I bought it again. So that's how I got that, and I just listened to Hybrid Theory over and over and over, and the music videos would be on MTV. I had to listen to those all the time. And I talk about how Metallica is like the first metal band I listened to, which isn't necessarily true because I definitely listened to Linkin Park before then. Drowning Pool I listened to before them.
Yeah.
Maybe even Disturbed as well. System of a Down for sure, because that was always like what was ever on heavy rotation on like the MTV music videos.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I would always listen to those, and I really gravitated toward the heavy stuff. But Metallica is, once I heard Metallica, that is what drove me to go down the rabbit hole further. All the other bands I listened to, but I didn't explore outside of those. Yeah. Metallica is the one that got me to explore outwards more. So that's why I kind of credit Metallica for being the
first band. Yeah.
Even though they weren't.
Yeah.
So yeah, Hybrid Theory, I fucking loved that album. It was so fucking good. Yeah. Then the second album came out, and I was like, this isn't good. I don't like this. Like even Disturbed was the same way. The Sickness came out, and then Believe came out. And the sound was just so much different to me that I didn't enjoy it. But now, as I got older, I do appreciate those albums so much more. And I do love those albums, including Meteora for sure.
Yeah. I did not buy a Linkin Park album. I think I went to Walmart with my dad to buy Eminem and Linkin Park. And they wouldn't sell them because they were explicit.
No. Walmart doesn't sell explicit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they didn't sell them.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Gotcha.
So they said, like, I remember going with my dad, and they said that And then he was like, well, then you don't need to listen to these.
Oh, that's interesting, because I don't think Hybrid Theory is explicit at all.
I remember they didn't have it.
They might not have had it, and they might have told you that's why it was, but I'm pretty sure that album isn't explicit. And that's another thing I remember is like, it's a metal album that doesn't swear. That's kind of weird, because like at the same time this was coming out, Limp Bizkit was still very, very big.
But is it about the other connotations in the songs?
Maybe that's what it is.
But anyways, so I took a blank CD to school, and a friend burnt it for me. So I still have that CD too. Like that's one that we like held on to or whatever. But when we started getting back into music, Linkin Park was touring at the time.
Were they really?
Between 2016 and 2017, yeah.
All right, I don't remember that. All right.
And I think it was 2017 after Open Air. I said Linkin Park should come for 2018 Open Air.
So yeah, that was something we did after 2016 and after 2017, after the festival's over, as being like, well, who's going to headline next year? Who would you like to see? And just talking amongst ourselves of like, who do you think could headline? Who do you think should be there? Blah, blah, blah. And I remember saying like, well, each year now they've had sort of a comedian group, because they had Jim Brewer one year, and then they had Steel Panther, which has sort of a comedic aspect to it. So it's like, it'd be awesome. Tenacious D came the following year. And I think Linkin Park was one for you, or like Linkin Park. I think you said that both years, not just.
Oh, I probably did. Yeah. I mean, that's just because Disturbed and Linkin Park were the only bands I really listened to. I mean, obviously I was really excited to see Rammstein first 2016 and Slipknot as well, because like by that point I had listened to them. But I mean, Disturbed and Linkin Park was still like the number
one and two bands for you.
Yeah, like the bands I listened to. But unfortunately, Chester passed away 7 days after.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
That close after?
6 days after Open Air. Yeah.
So yeah, we didn't get to see them then. Nope. They took a hiatus.
Well, of course. Yeah. Yes. But yeah, it was really sad, because I mean, it went into a thought process of like, I'm never going to see Linkin Park, because they kind of just stopped. I mean, obviously they stopped.
Yeah. And they were definitely one of those bands that when he passed, it was a Freddie Mercury type thing of like, there's no way you're coming back. That's part of the band. John Bonham with Led Zeppelin as well. Like, they're gone. The band's done. Like, we're like, this is a crucial key element to the band that you can't just replace. And so seeing them sort of disband and not tour anymore, I was like, yeah, of course they're going to do that. They're not going to come back. So when they did announce, we did a whole 666 on our feelings of that. It was sort of a shock for me.
Yeah. Obviously, did they announce that they were releasing new music, or they were making new music?
No, it was all, I think, if I remember correctly, it was all that one event of
that's when they announced
showing
everything.
Emily, plus playing new music and announcing it.
There was a lot of
rumors for sure.
Of course. They obviously released Lost, and then, is that right?
No, I think it was The Emptiness Machine was the first song that was released.
Well, Lost was recorded with Chester.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Anyways, I don't remember the whole like timeline of everything. Okay, so I had to Google it, but Lost was released in 2023. And then I believe starting then was the rumors of that they were recording music, that there was going to be a female vocalist. They hadn't announced who it was or anything. Like, I remember all this kind of happening, and I was kind of in my mind being like, they can't do that sort of thing. But then did Linkin Park do a countdown, I think?
Yeah.
They had like a countdown event or something, and then they streamed that one concert where they announced. Go ahead.
No, yeah, go ahead.
Where they announced Emily as the vocalist. And it was like a private concert in LA or something.
Yeah, you had to like sign up, and like it was a super fan club or something, and then you could get like tickets to this event at the end of this countdown. And again, like the rumors, if I remember correctly, the rumors were like, oh, it's going to be new music and a new singer. Maybe not even new music. Maybe it was like a new singer. I don't know. There were a lot of rumors flying around right then. I can't remember exactly. I wasn't paying super close attention, honestly. So whatever. I was like, whatever. It is what it is.
That's not what you said during that announcement.
Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But I mean,
you weren't a fan either of the announcement.
So, all right. So what I'm saying is, it is what it is in terms of whatever happens. I wasn't like going super deep in the rumors of what it is.
I see what I understand.
Yeah. Okay. The announcement when it came out, I was definitely on the fence of like this doesn't feel right. I remember saying that and feeling that way. So I've kind of sort of come around to it. The way I view it now personally is it's the same thing as I feel with like sort of Pantera. When Pantera first announced that they were coming back together with Zach, I was like, you can't, no, this isn't Pantera. Why the fuck are you doing this? Play Pantera songs, change your name, do something differently. But no, it's not Pantera. I've sort of come around like, whatever, it is what it is. And I'm sort of in the same vein here with Linkin Park in terms of, like, I know Chester was a huge part of that band, but he wasn't the only part of that band.
Yeah.
So saying like one person passes away, therefore we all have to stop making music, and not saying you have to, you can go out and do your other things as they did, but you want to be like, we want to be Linkin Park again. And I also get the argument for there's a lot of value in that name and touring on that name. You can sell tickets just on the name alone.
I thought about that last night on the whole, like, I'm sure that they came back as Linkin Park because it's Linkin Park. And when they asked like, how many people is this your first show? It was a lot of fucking people that this was.
The vast majority was definitely
this is their first show.
Ourselves included.
I mean, granted, it's been 8 years since anything has happened. I don't know how much touring they did between like 2010 and 2017.
Yeah, we weren't seeing shows back then, so I don't know how often they were touring either.
Yeah, so I mean, it could have been a long time since they've done anything.
Yeah.
But when they did announce, or when they did that LA show, they streamed it. We watched it on the TV behind us, kind of like, just watching it or whatever. We had our comments on it. We did a 666 on it, I believe.
We did.
At the time, we both weren't very supportive, I remember, of the new vocalist. Didn't really care for the sound, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Do you remember? Do you want to watch that 666?
I might have to rewatch it. I do remember being like, it doesn't feel right to me, but also it's your band. You can do what you want. So that's where I'm sort of at. Like, not that I wasn't necessarily supportive of it, but more of like, it doesn't feel right for me.
Okay. I just remember ending it like being like, we don't know about this.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And this was also before the new music came out. So
they played a couple songs.
They did play The Emptiness Machine, maybe one other.
Maybe.
I don't think it was Heavy's the Crown or whatever the fuck that song is, but it's definitely The Emptiness Machine. I remember that. Do you want to talk quickly on that new album and what we thought of that before getting into the show, or just go into the show and forget what we thought about the album?
Well, yeah, we could go into the album first.
Because we're not really like an album review show, but I kind of feel like it ties into this a little bit.
Sure.
Or maybe not. I don't know.
Well,
what do you think?
I know 2 songs off of it. The Emptiness Machine and Heavy is the Crown. But after those 2 songs, I'm going to be honest, I have not given the album a chance.
I listened to it a lot when it first came out. I liked the music, but I hate the album, which is weird.
It's repetitive.
So to me, the music is very cookie cutter. It feels like they took an old Linkin Park song and just redid it with her instead of Chester.
And they could have.
It felt very formulaic when I was listening to it. The other aspects that I really, 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 really fucking hate are all of the studio talking bits.
Oh, yeah. You said that. I haven't even listened to it enough to know like that those were there.
Like when it first starts off, you hear like Emily and Mike talking back and forth, and she's just like, from zero? Like from nothing? Oh, I get it. And I was like, what the fuck? And that's how it starts off. I'm like, God damn it, this is fucking dumb. You're trying to be super deep and like meaningful and blah, 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 but it's not. It's stupid. And then all of the other little talking bits back and forth, like, it's time to put your screamy pants on. And it's like, she can scream a little bit, but she's not the greatest screamer. No. So like, she does what she can.
Me.
Whatever. Anywho,
that got to me.
I do really enjoy the album. Outside of all those little things, basically the talking in between the songs, cut those out and it's much better. Once they released sort of the acapella version, where it was just basically the vocal tracks with no music, out. Yeah, it was fucking shitty. That pissed me off so much.
Because you think that they just stripped out the vocals.
I think so. And there's dead spaces in the songs, which is just fucking weird.
Where acapella is like you have the
constant singing.
Like, and the singing makes the music.
I think of like Imago Heap. They have like that. I don't know what it is. Like the What You Are song.
Yeah.
That you only meant well, like that song. Yeah. I love that song back in the day. I can't tell you what the name is. I have it on my phone. I listen to it every now and then. But hey, whatever. But yeah, that's acapella, and to me, that's what I think about. This was just like the stripped out vocals, and then later on they released the instrumental version, which was just the instruments with no vocals. Like it was just I don't know. It was weird to me. Anywho, I did like the new music that came out. Getting into this show, they played 7 of the 27 songs were from the new album, which I guess is like almost the entire album, probably.
Yeah, there's probably 10 songs on that album.
Probably thereabout, yeah.
Yeah, which is somewhat, especially for this length of the show, because they played for 2 hours, I think.
It's a long set, which is really cool to see.
So for this length of show, like that makes sense when you're not at an album release party to integrate most of the album into the show. And
you do that anyway. When a new album comes out and you tour on that album, bands are going to play more of the new songs from that album.
Yeah, and they haven't toured for so long.
Yep.
And I guess where I'm trying to go with this is like, if you have a band that's been touring, let's use Metallica as an example again. So they've integrated 72 seasons into their set, so they may have taken out something that they didn't play before that. But when a band hasn't toured for so long, they have a new vocalist, they're trying to get their new image out, it makes sense to play most of the album, of the new album.
I guess we're saying the same thing. It makes sense to do it because they're touring on that album to me. I agree with what you're saying in a way, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, to me, it doesn't matter how long it's been since they toured. Like, it's kind of known that they're going to play a lot of the new stuff. Next album comes out, there might be like 1 or 2 songs off this album, and then that album will have a lot more. Same with Metallica, as you said. They do have more songs from 72 Seasons on there, but if you look at their previous album, Hardwired, they don't have too many Hardwired songs on there. They have Moth into Flames, and maybe that's it. I don't know. Hardwired to Self-Destruct? I don't know. Anywho.
Maybe, I don't know.
I think we're saying the same thing, slightly different, which we do all the time.
Okay.
Other comments, I guess, from the show?
When did you start crying?
I didn't really cry at all. I don't think I did.
Okay. I started crying during Somewhere I Belong.
So right away you started crying?
Yeah. But so when we bought the tickets, I was a little bit iffy if I even wanted to go. A lot of times when I listen to Linkin Park, it puts me in a depressive mood, or I listen to it when I'm depressed.
Gotcha.
So I didn't want to buy tickets to just sit there and basically bawl my eyes out for 2 hours and be depressed, and then go into like this big downward spiral of being depressed for multiple days. So that's kind of what I thought could have happened when we first bought the tickets. And I was kind of iffy-washy on, do I even want to do this? So then for the longest time when I would think about going to Linkin Park, I wouldn't even really be like, oh, we're going to Linkin Park. Yay, I'm excited. It'd be more like, we're going to Linkin Park. Like, I don't know how this is going to make me react.
Gotcha.
Sort of thing. So, and if you ever thought that like when we would talk about going to Linkin Park and I would be all kind of down about it, it wasn't because Emily's going to be there, even though she's not my favorite. And she wasn't my favorite. I listened to, I don't even know what band she was in, but like when she first was announced.
Dead Sarah's, I think.
Yeah, Dead Sarah's. Like I listened to that and I was like, yeah, I don't like this either. So, I mean, it's not just because she's the vocalist for Linkin Park now. But yeah, so I was always just like, I don't know how this is going to be. So
I know we've brought it up with friends. The friends we went to go see Shinedown with, they're going to see Linkin Park, I think in Omaha was where they're going.
Yes, at the end of the month.
At the end of the month here in August. And we said, oh, we're going in Chicago. And you had said you would sort of go on a rant about it. And then you'd end that rant with like, but I'm going in with an open mind.
And I did.
And it would make me laugh because it's like, no, you're not going in with an open mind. Your mind's already made up. Like, you hate her. You're going to hate the show. It's already made up that you're going to hate it. And you could just tell by the rant you were having. Never when you were doing that sort of rant did you ever express the depression aspect of it, which makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
then if you threw that in there, all right, maybe I'll give you a pass and say you were actually going in with an open mind. You're just angry because you are.
I was anxious about what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, to me, causing you to be angry, or your tone coming off as very anger-esque tone.
Anger-esque.
Anger adjacent. But you would come off very angrily when describing it and what you were expecting going in. But I think that was more driven to, as you said, the anxiety of, I don't want to be depressed.
I can see where you're coming from.
So that's where I was like, you're not going in with an open mind. But all right, now I understand it a little better because you're using words and describing emotions, which is super awesome. Yes, communication. So I guess just skipping ahead, are you depressed still? Or
I'm not depressed today. No, and I wasn't depressed last night either. It wasn't. But then again, I told you, like, I think we went to dinner, and I said, I was like, I think I'm going to be okay because I'm not in that mindset.
Yes.
Where sometimes, I mean...
I've been there too.
Mental health, you never know. Like, it could be a depressive month, whatever.
I've gone to shows, and we've talked about this when we go to those shows where I'm in an off mood.
Yeah.
And sometimes the show helps, like the live music, the live energy, the crowd, just being there in that community, it does help. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. So it's just like a crapshoot, honestly.
Right.
But okay, that's good to hear. I know going into this show, and again, jumping ahead a little bit, going into this show for both of us, it was sort of this might be a one and done Linkin Park show. If they tour again, we might not go check it out again. After going to the show and seeing the show and experiencing it, is this something, if they came around next year, that you would be willing to buy tickets for and go again?
Good question. I figured this would come more at the end.
Like I said, we're jumping ahead a little bit.
Yeah. I thought about it a lot last night, actually. Would I see this again? Seeing the live Linkin Park show was a different vibe of the concerts I like to go to. I have to say that.
Okay.
From a entertainment perspective, I liked being there. I liked how loud the crowd sang on, most of the songs and everything. So I like that live aspect from that point of view. But from a show music, our perspective of the crowd point of view, maybe if we were on the floor, it'd be a little bit different. But I don't know. I don't think I would spend $200 to go see them. Yeah, I would spend $50 for the 300 section.
Yeah, the price point was interesting for sure. Yeah. I would have liked to have been on the floor. But who knows what prices will be next time they come through town. I am firmly in the boat of I would definitely go again to see this. Yeah. And again, it's not the same sort of energy we normally like to go to, like with a Lamb of God show, for instance. But there were people in the crowd moshing. I know
that was fun. I actually was like, I would join a mosh pit during Linkin Park because it's not like very aggressive. It was more just like, let's have fun sort of thing.
It's a different kind of mosh, I guess.
Yeah.
But like that was awesome, and the crowd was insanely fucking loud. Yeah. And those are the kind of shows I do love so much. I keep thinking of like Linefest Iowa. That was such a fucking horrible festival, but when Slipknot took the stage and played Wait and Bleed, like the crowd was so fucking loud, and it just made the evening better until the next line, obviously. But I love when the crowd's super loud, and when the crowd was singing, especially during like Numb, I thought about you not liking Emily's voice and singing the Chester parts. And I know you brought that up again in those conversations of like, she's just not going to have the same weight to her voice when she sings it like Chester did.
Yeah.
And again, sure, maybe not. And that was another reason I thought you were not going in with an open mind. But
because I kept making those comments.
Yeah. But in any case, she really didn't sing those songs. She said like one word and then put the mic down and let the crowd sing.
I actually really enjoyed that. Or if she was singing, the crowd sang louder than her. So I'm like, yes, drown her out. Show her that we can be louder, like sort of thing.
I have no problem with her voice and her singing.
So on recording, I kind of got used to it. It was a little bit better. I know I would mock it all the time, like when we would listen to it. I got more used to it on the record, like on Spotify.
Yeah.
But hearing it in person, I felt like was even worse.
So, okay.
I mean, there's not the mixers and stuff.
But to that point, I will say I did think the sound quality at United
do you think that's what it was
fucking garbage. It did not sound good at all our night. I didn't think. Where we were sitting, the sound we had was just sort of meh. It was muffled. It was echoey. It was kind of really fucking shitty all night long. So I think that's just more
maybe
the venue.
That's part of it.
I do.
I don't like stadium shows though. We've talked about that. Like,
yep.
Stadium shows just it is echoey a lot. I mean, they're not built for concerts. They're built for
arena and stadium. Yeah, for sure.
They're built for
maybe an outdoor one's different. Like Wrigley might be different.
Maybe Wrigley, but I was gonna say like when we saw AC/DC at Soldier Field, like if the wind came in just right, it sounded like shit.
And also maybe on the floor sounded better. I don't know.
Maybe.
Our vantage point with the cords hanging down.
Oh yes, we didn't mention that.
No.
Since it's a center stage, like our section, we were in section 105, so between 105 and 106, where the stairs was, which you brought up. You're like, I think they put it there because it's on the stairway, but was just 50 cords hanging down. I don't know how many cords, but they were just bundled cords. Up. Yeah, they were all bundled together, and it was hanging straight down. So like there was a blockage of the stage.
That was interesting. I don't think I've ever seen a show like that, but we're really not in the seats that often.
We're not.
Typically, though, it's on the ground. They have like those little things you walk over to cover that.
So we are Instagram friends with somebody who we've talked to for multiple years, but we've never actually met this person in life. But they were on the floor for the show, and they posted for the show, or they posted about it, and they basically said the floor view point was shitty. And then they went to the 100 section for part of this set, and they were like, I should just stay in the 100 section bought tickets for the 100 section.
Like the floor was just shitty.
Yeah. So I think the whole point is like when you're looking up, you can't. Some of the show was on the screens, like how like it was.
So they had these two giant squares above the center stage, and that was where they projected everything onto.
And that's where the lasers were, and like the lights and everything were. So. But then also like if you're at the end, they were at the end, but they're on the opposite side of us,
so like
on the floor. Yeah, and it was like their viewpoint. They actually had a picture of it, and it was just like the side of the stage, and you can't see the performers.
Interesting,
because the performers stood
in the middle where it was more packed, as you said.
Yeah, so I think to be on the floor, I think that's why it was so packed on those sides is because that's where everybody was, because otherwise it was kind of shitty.
Yeah. You did bring up the lasers and the lights. I do think that was really good. I like that too. I liked the stage design and the effects with the lasers, the lights. I thought they did an amazing job with all of that. The ring they had going around that had the lights also had like the fog or the smoke machines to shoot things down.
It went down.
I thought that would have been cool if it was pyro, but exactly.
Yeah. I don't know if United Center is going to allow pyro.
But they had the bowl banners up again.
Not on the end. On the far end, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, I didn't see them.
No, they had the championship.
Looking,
no, I
didn't see them.
They were right above the square boxes.
No, so there's another row at the far end. Those are the ones that they melted. But
these are championship banners that they had hanging there.
Yeah, so there's some right above us.
Why would they have multiple championship banners?
I don't know, honey.
One other thing for me real quick is the Fort Minor songs, or the Mike Shinoda songs that he would sing, like his solo or his other project stuff.
Oh, is that Fort Minor?
Yeah, I felt that was a little weird to bring your other side projects into your other band show.
I don't think it is necessary.
But again, I don't.
That's a good comment to bring up, because during his solo shows he would play Linkin Park stuff.
Yes, but that's different. Corey Taylor also plays
Slipknot
shit or Stone Sour shit at his solo stuff.
Yeah.
But he's not going to Slipknot and playing Stone Sour stuff on Slipknot stage.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
But again, I don't know. We've never been to a Linkin Park show beforehand, so I don't know if they were doing that. And I know it is like they have a heavy hip hop rap sort of influence to Linkin Park as well.
Oh yeah.
I think those concerts as well bring in other genres for like sampling and whatnot. So it makes sense, but it also doesn't make sense to me.
Bringing up the rap aspect, that's another thought that I had when I was there last night. Is obviously, I shouldn't say obviously, we don't go to rap concerts, but I listen. I mean, I've listened to Linkin Park since probably 2002, 2003. And no, even probably before that.
2000, I think, is when Hybrid Theory came out, or 2001. But yeah, anywho, when they came out.
It was 8th grade, whatever 8th grade was. But whatever. It might not have been when they first came out, but once I got the album, I listened to them all the time. So
doesn't matter.
And I know that there's the rap aspects to it, but I think I've always not blocked it out, because like I've never been able to when listening to rap, I've never been able to like catch on to the rap element. Like, because I used to be, I am a very vocal centric person. Like I like the vocals of songs. I like to sing songs, even though I'm not good at singing. But so I was always singing like Chester's parts and not Mike's parts.
Yeah.
So I knew, long story short, I know that there's rap elements to Linkin Park, and I know there's a lot of rap elements to Linkin Park. But being there last night, I feel like there was a lot, like the rap came out even more or whatever.
Interesting. Okay.
And seeing the crowd who not necessarily was a normal, I'm saying normal, but the crowds that we're used to seeing, different demographics, different people being there and everything. It made me like just how they were acting and how their hand movements were and arm movements and stuff were different than like when we go to a metal show.
Okay.
So at metal shows, people are throwing the horns up,
right.
you know, like that's kind of how you like go along with the music. It's like
right.
Horns up. So at this show, I noticed a lot of people were doing this with their hand and being like,
oh, I guess I didn't notice that at all.
Okay. Well, I noticed that, and it was a thing that I noticed.
Okay.
So I don't know how a rap show would be, but I'm from seeing things on TV or seeing things like that. Like I feel like that's more of a, maybe it's like metal has the double horns thing where other genres don't. So then it's like, well, I want to put my hand up. So what do I do? Like,
I guess, yeah. I mean, they do like the put your hands up and wave or do shit like that.
What do you mean put your hands up and wave?
Like wave your hands back and forth. Oh,
that's different. That's at every concert.
Sure, but I'm saying like whatever. There's other ways to get your audience involved with hand movements and making them like jump and do shit like that.
Well, I didn't see Linkin Park going like this.
I don't know.
I just saw the audience doing that. You didn't pick up on it.
I didn't pick up on that anywhere. But you did. Okay. But all in all, I thought the set list was awesome. They played a lot of songs that I love to see and hear. When they did the encore, there was Bleed It Out and Heavy as the Crown. I kind of knew those were going to be the two songs. I wasn't expecting Paper Cut and A Place for My Head.
Yeah, you always say A Place for My Mind.
I really like that A Place for My Head song from Hybrid Theory. It's like one of my favorite songs on that album. So I was like, holy shit, they're actually playing this? I was not expecting it. I didn't think it was as popular as it was. I thought I was just one of the weirdos who liked it. But no, apparently a lot of people like it. So, but like I said, all in all, for me, the set was awesome. I left there with a very good impression of it. And like I said, I would definitely go back to see them again. The price point for sure would definitely be a caveat there. I'm not going to pay a fuck ton of money to see them, but I would like to see them. But I would like to see them again, and I would like to be on the floor. But I know that's going to be a lot of money to be on the floor to see that.
Now seeing that poster, I don't know if I would want to be on the floor just because if it's shitty and you can't see anything, then what's the point of being on the floor?
If the stage setup was a little different, maybe.
Yeah. But then it would probably be a front and back stage, and then that would suck.
Yeah. And like we said earlier with I don't know if we touched on this yet, but between like acts 2 and 3 or whenever it was, they did sort of rearrange the stage by moving. They did, yeah. Where they moved the drum kit over to face the other way, and then Johan's like DJ set up was on the other side of the stage. They moved that over to our side now for the second half of the show, which is like almost an hour in, almost exactly an hour in.
Was it an hour in?
Almost,
I didn't even notice the time, so...
They brought a lot of people for crew out on stage because you saw them with like their red little lights on their heads, moving everything around. There's just an army of people moving all that shit around. And I was like, you could have done this probably a little better, or just have the drum kit in the middle or something. I don't know. Yeah,
but other bands do that. I mean, I'm going to bring up Disturbed again. I don't know why. Well, probably because Linkin Park and Disturbed in my mind go together. But, like when they do The Sound of Silence and the...
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, like they bring out the piano and the drums and stuff like that. So, I mean, and the chairs and everything. So, I mean, there's other shows that do the same thing.
No, you're right.
And it didn't take long. I mean, it only took a few minutes or a few moments. I mean,
I did feel like, though, after that, it was also a break for the band.
I think so.
To take a breather and whatnot.
Yeah, not like an intermission, just like a little breather off the stage. Yeah.
But I did feel like that whole moment was very long, or it felt long to me.
I did. Okay, I personally did not feel like it was long
to me that it felt long and drug out a little bit. But again, it's a breather for the band, and I understand why it's there in that part of the set for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it for me. If there's anything else you want to bring up or talk about that like stood out for you, or other things you want to talk about for this particular show.
No, I enjoyed the set. I am on the fence on seeing another show of theirs. Price point, definitely probably not that much. I understand why it costs that much, sort of thing, but I don't know. I feel like most of the set I was down about. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, you kept asking, like, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? I enjoyed it for seeing Linkin Park and everything. We did see a Linkin Park tribute band.
Yeah, we did.
A couple years ago. Hybrid Theory. The Hybrid Theory, right?
Yeah,
because there's two of them.
Yeah.
This is the Hybrid Theory. So we saw them at Rockfest 2023 on the tribute stage. I fucking enjoyed that so much. And it was like kind of, in my mind, I was like, oh, this is the Linkin Park that I'm going to get, because at that time they hadn't announced that they were doing anything. Yeah. So in my mind, I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm seeing tribute bands to Linkin Park. I may have had more fun at their set. Just from the energy or whatever.
And it could be because we weren't on the ground. We were in seats.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, maybe. Or just my mental, like just.
You're still not sold on the Emily voice.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying, but do you know what? I don't like her voice as a female vocalist. That's a main thing. And I know I brought that up before. Also, I don't think I would be happy if they would have found some other guy.
Yeah.
A male vocalist.
No matter who's filling those shoes, like, you can't fill those shoes.
No.
So whoever's taking that spot, it's already an uphill battle.
Yeah.
So, and I get where you're coming from. I get your hesitation. And I don't want to just be like, well, get over it. Like, just get over it and deal with it. Like, it's not that bad. And to me, it's not. To you, this band, Chester, had a much bigger impact for you than he did for me. So I get where you're coming from. I do. Like, if James were to pass away and they started Metallica without James, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? Right? Like, you can get rid of Dave, but you can't get rid of James. You can get rid of Cliff, apparently. Like that.
Well, they didn't get rid of
Cliff. But you know what I mean.
But I guess, if you use Metallica as an example, Cliff and Chester, Cliff didn't decide to pass away. But it's almost the same, where it's like, he was no longer with us. Right. So then they went on.
What do we do?
Yeah, what do
you
we
could
do?
either not continue to go on, or you can stop, or you can go on.
Yeah.
And they chose to go on. And again, if they chose not to after Cliff, I can definitely see that being like, all right, we're done. We're not going to do this Metallica thing. We'll go do something else, but not Metallica. I could definitely see them doing that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's up to the band. It's up to, like, they're the artists. They're the ones who, have to go through this loss as well, but on an even more personal level than we do.
I think another part of hearing, back to the anybody who's the vocalist singing a lot of these songs, is I remember I was going through, like, what the songs meant, why they wrote them. Chester wrote a lot of them, that sort of thing. It was on personal journey type stuff and personal stuff that happened in childhood and all that stuff. So hearing somebody else, no matter who it is, sing those words that bothers me.
Yeah, and it's, well, not for the tribute band, obviously. But
That's true. And I had that thought last night. I was like, why? Because I had that thought during a few of the songs last night. And then I was like, but why did I not think the same way when we saw the tribute band?
Because the tribute band's a tribute.
Yeah.
And this is,
Linkin Park.
You're viewing it as replacing Chester.
Yes.
But it's not replacing Chester. You can't do that. And to me, when I was hearing the crowd sing so loudly, it did make me smile. And my final thought was more of like, at least the band is still out playing his art, his music to the world, to people who it clearly means so much to. And so, like, that's a positive message in and of itself. So
no, you're right.
That was fucking awesome. So they'll continue to do that, and I don't know. I'm happy for that. I'm happy that the art and he is still going to be out there for people to enjoy what he created through live music. Well, and a little bit emotional for Karen, and for me a little bit too. Not gonna lie. But yeah, go check out music. Keep the art alive, keep the artists alive, and, listen to their music. Go out, listen to it live in a community. It's fucking amazing when you're in a community and you're all singing and all there for the same reason. So live music's our favorite. We highly recommend going to check out some live music, and maybe we'll see you at the next show.
Bye.